Thank you very much as well, Tomicus, for the host as well. How you guys doing? Welcome if you're just joining us here. It's our grand finals actually between uThermal and ShoWTimE. Let's actually just get this one up and running. Let me just get the bot arena going as well. So that you guys can hashtag the players. So right now you should be able to hashtag for them. Just type in hashtag ShoWTimE or hashtag uThermal in the chat. And it should be all good, apart from the fact I just put the players the wrong way around, didn't I? Yes, I did. Give me another moment then. I just put the colors the wrong way around. There we go. Alright guys, so you guys can hashtag here while we introduce, or whenever you want during the chat, to show who you're supporting here today. To the top left hand side, our blue Protoss player. Give it up if you're going to be cheering on Armor Team's ShoWTimE in this best of 5 final. He is up against the red Terran to the lower right hand side from Team Liquid, uThermal. And thank you, Tomicus, for the host, and welcome all from the stream. You just joined us again in time for our grand finals here today. So thank you for checking us out. Are we going to be doing a WardiTV league this year? So, actually, here's something I guess I haven't mentioned on the stream yet this for a little while. The WardiTV Team League Season 7 playoffs have started. We are getting them set up, we're getting them played so that we can broadcast them in the coming weeks. What? Yeah! WardiTV Team League action will be finishing up soon for Season 7. And then we are going to be running WardiTV Team League Season 8 in 2018. Woo! I'm excited for it. Be good to have the Team League back. Would be good. Alright guys, all those votes are coming in. We got a hashtag ShoWTimE from GenFX in these early stages. Hashtag uThermal's coming through from Dark Ones and Burjip. Are we hashtagging who we want to win or who we think will win? Just who you're supporting. Or who you think will win, whatever you fancy. It doesn't really matter, it's just a bit of fun. Did I mess it up? Oh no, there it goes. It's updating. It's updating. Okay, good, good, good. Alright, well, a Marine comes across just to have a little bit of a poke to see what's up. Meanwhile, an Adept hits the natural. uThermal going into 2 Cyclones at the moment. Now, we have seen a fair amount of mech in TvP lately. We'll see what uThermal wants to set up with here, as we're going to see those 2 Cyclones popping out in the next couple of moments. And meanwhile, back at home, a Blink upgrade starting up from ShoWTimE. A couple of gates coming down at the front as well. So 2 gates coming down at the front and getting ready to go. And again, this Adept to ShoWTimE just going to pull back in through the center. Stimpack starts up for uThermal. Factory will move away, and a couple of barracks will drop on down as well. And there's 1 barracks, the second rack's 2. In just a moment or so, so there it is, 3 racks in total. So he's just going to play this bio style, just a couple of Cyclones early to set himself up and get himself going. As we're going to be seeing the Stimpack on the way up in the main base. Alright, so Stimpack on the way up, the barracks coming through. And again, that Blink is just about halfway done at the moment here. As we stand for this first game. I mean, Blink, fast Blink has been the way that a lot of Protoss players are opening currently in the Protoss versus Terran. Just getting those Stalkers out, creating some map control, help them to defend early aggression, which pretty much keeps them safe. And just go from there. Robo Facilities coming up to being about halfway done as well in the next few moments. Now as that Robo Facility hits about halfway done, obviously that helps out quite a bit. A Stalker will warp in on the natural expansionist, another 1-2. Again, just building up his early unit count as uThermal with a couple of Marauders instantly realizing that a lot of Stalkers are coming out early game in TvP lately. Probably just going to set himself up to deal with that. Doesn't have a scout on what this actually is. I guess we'll see over the next 2 moments. What's up, Go2D Fish? Is that meant to be Goldfish? Godfish? Or is it meant to Go2D Fish? What's up? Thank you for subscribing. Get some 40 hearts in the chat, please, guys, for a brand new sub. You do get a decoration on the Christmas tree. If you'd like to add one, just let me know what color you'd like. You can type in !colors to find out which are the choices. very, very much for the sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wardy family. If you'd like the replay pack as well, just hit me a whisper in Twitch. I'll send it to you by the end of the stream, buddy. Stalker's poking across here. ShoWTimE currently 58-42 in the chat. We'll see how that develops throughout the series as the first Stalkers arrive, but there is going to be a couple of Marauders just pulling back behind this bunker. Stalker's poking. Bunker taking some hits, and SVO2 will have to go off the line to repair this. That's what ShoWTimE's hoping for, to my mind time, and also going to be trying to pick away at an SCVO2 as well, potentially. Blink is done, and this is where it gets dangerous, as we are going to be seeing the Observer into the main. uThermal is moving over this side, flies right through an Observer. That's not pretty. He's actually unloading down here, maybe to intercept these Stalkers. Seems to be what he wanted, as he is going to be able to push those back. So that works out okay, but man, that looks scary. You know, flying 2 medevacs through the Observer and towards the Stalkers. I was like, no, 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 don't let it happen! Units from uThermal coming through the center. 2 Cyclones, that bio getting stuff set up and ready to go. Cyclone does not get the kill there on that Adept. It just shades away in time to survive. Where did it go? Up here? Actually can't find it. There it is. The 1 HP Adept. He's going to be coming down the left side. Is going to see a couple of Cyclones pushing forwards. Stim as well. Well, here we go. uThermal getting aggressive. Targets the sentries for the Guardian Shields initially. The Cyclones, one of them actually got lifted up into a medevac to try and survive. Gets dropped back down again now. Stalkers target down the medevacs. You're going to see these Marines, these Marauders continue to push forwards, and Adept goes down. Stalkers blinking back again here from ShoWTimE. A few Zealots still set up at the front too. They're mortal as well. ShoWTimE will defend this initial push. uThermal, I mean, losing the medevacs is a bit of a shame. It does hurt him a little bit here in these early stages. We're going to be seeing the bioforces moving around, seeing what's going to happen next. More Marines coming on through, and another siege tank being added in. A couple more medevacs on the way up. +2 attack, +2 armor. ShoWTimE is getting ahead on the upgrades, and that's one of the powerful things about the Protoss in the patch at the moment. The double forge with Corona Boost on the upgrades can be so, so good. I mean, ShoWTimE's already fighting with an upgrade lead with that +1 armor advantage. And double shield battery here, I don't really think ShoWTimE can do much about that. I mean, I guess uThermal will deal a bit of damage here and start to drain some of the shield battery energy. Here's one thing, shield batteries are very good, but their energy does drain pretty darn fast. So once they are kind of down on energy, obviously it kind of is no more healing. I like it the way it works. I mean, they're super powerful, but obviously if their energy's gone, then they can't do much at all. As you're going to see the bio goes to the corner. I was going to say, might just lift up and get out of there as he targets down the Stalkers. Pulling back a little bit. Marines continue to pull backwards and more units gathering together. 2 Liberators in the main base on the way up here. Getting set and ready to roll. A Marine will go up the ramp and will get picked off pretty much instantly. Nicely done, as we're going to be seeing a few more Marines also loading up and going to be well, getting ready to drop around somewhere. Going to go in towards the main base in the next couple of moments. Boosting forward, is going to be seeing the bio just dropping back out. And everything else gathering up together. uThermal's still trying to be aggressive, but I just don't think he's been good enough so far. He's only on 2 bases, which is why he's continuing to attack. It's a 2 base all-in that he's gone for. He never added on that 3rd CC. He went up to the 5 barracks. He's looking for a little bit more. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE just warps in more Zealots, and honestly, it's completely perfectly set up to keep on defending. He's going to be 2-2 now against 1-1 rather than 1-1 against 1-0. So he's a 2 set. You know, he's 2 upgrades ahead here, an entire set. As we do see bio pulling back towards the 3rd base, just starting to build that up. Now, uThermal, I mean, again, if some of these fights just didn't go as well as you needed them to, and losing the first 2 medevacs already starts to hurt when you're trying to throw everything you can at your opponent. I mean, what did he pick off to justify losing the first early medevacs, which then slowed down further pressure until more medevacs hit the map? So we're just going to be seeing ShoWTimE with set of units on the far left. Bio going to kite away and is going to be killing off this Zealot in the next couple of seconds. So Zealot does go down. Storm on the way up, and the Templar Archive is up here. +3 ground armor on the Forge, but also going into the +1 shield rather than the +1 attack. It's kind of interesting to go into the shields instead. I wonder, I guess because he's just going so Zealot heavy, anything he can get to help protect these Zealots is going to be extremely useful. And we've seen the Pro Army coming through the south side again, is pushing forwards. The Liberators are setting up, and we're all going to see one cell getting picked off instantly. I mean, this is powerful. A lot of Liberators, a lot of tanks. If you can get into a good position, if you can force a good fight, then maybe there's something uThermal can do. I mean, he sets up kind of on this ramp here, but does that really push in towards the natural? No. Does it force ShoWTimE to fight? I don't really think so. Obviously, he can kind of step Liberators forwards. He can maybe force users to come and commit in. Well, here we go. Storm! Oh my god! Those storms are disgusting, and uThermal just types out. Wow! Did you see that storm as he knew uThermal was going to number 2? Down again to the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. Give it up if you're cheering on uThermal. And to the upper left-hand side, the red Protoss player from Armor Team is ShoWTimE. Is the OSC website down? Well, we do definitely give away OSC points for this qualifier, and again, obviously the main event's one of your last chances to gain OSC points in the year, which means a lot as well. I think for this qualifier, 60 points for first, 30 points for second, 15 points top 4, 5 top 8, 2.5 top 16. And you know, again, you might not feel like points mean a lot, but they definitely can add up as we set up into this game number 2. Thank you again to Goldfish for the sub during that game. We'll go to the fish. I just read it as Goldfish. If I'm wrong, then let me know. I wouldn't want to call you Goldfish if it's not the case. You can see a depot being dropped. Barracks is up. Marine is on the way out. And we are going to be seeing this probe just blocking momentarily, but not really delaying. Obviously, with a Marine here, it's going to be able to push that probe away, no problem. Factory will be coming down shortly, I imagine, as he's already started up the reactor. And getting ready to go, so you are going to see this probe coming in towards the upper side, and, well, again, just waiting to see how things set up and establish for both players here in Game 2. Looking to see the Protoss and Terran builds. Obviously, with expansions early, we're not going to be seeing super crazy, oh my god, game's about to end already stuff, but definitely some possibilities here. By the way, just to give you an update as well, later today I am casting the WSG Brazil qualifier. I'm going to be casting that in 1 hour's time on twitch.tv/WSGSC2. So if you'd like to watch a little bit more Wardy casting tonight, you can catch me over there. I will host that channel up on this stream when we go live on it. Again, that's in about an hour's time for the Brazilian qualifier on WSG. A few Marines with a bunker should be fine. The Adept will not commit to the Shade. And that will be that so far. Sorry, I put the uThermal on the score, guys. It is ShoWTimE. He's 1-0 in the series. You know why that is? That's because I've accidentally swapped them around on the order again. That's because I probably meant to swap ShoWTimE up to the top and have uThermal on the bottom, because he spawned bottom right as blue and ShoWTimE spawned top left as red. Sorry for that, guys. As you do see, this Oracle is going to be Corona boosting away. We'll be moving across the map here in a few moments. A little bit of early pressure. There's a couple of gates coming up as well behind us. This time a Stargate opening, something a little bit different from ShoWTimE. Interesting, because we don't really see the Oracle openings versus Terran so much now. Only 22 damage versus light means they do not two-shot workers, which obviously means you're generally just going to deal a lot less damage. I wonder if just triple Oracle openers become a thing so they can fly in and one-shot those workers all over again. They also don't two-shot Marines anymore, currently three-shotting Marines as well. After 2 shots, a Marine will be on 1 health, which does go a long ways. A missile turret will just poke away at that Oracle initially. And we are going to see the Oracle in towards the main. Well, there we go, find a worker, but again, 3 hits to take it down. Obviously doesn't matter here, but it just limits how much damage you can get done with this early. Second SCV goes down, now a third. We are just going to be seeing some Hellions up the right-hand side, so uThermal with a lot of Hellions early on as he transitions into Bio behind this. His Starport builds a reactor's factory onto a tech lab. Let's see what these Hellions want to do. Obviously, they can't move into Hellbats or anything. There's no armory or anything crazy like that. That would be real crazy. They're probably just looking for the right time to come in and try and do a little bit more. Marines actually having a bit of a rough time in the main. Phoenix starting to shut down the medevac, but Hellions will start to move in towards the natural, but will not find anything. And ShoWTimE takes game number 3. To the top left-hand side, our blue Terran from Team Liquid. It is uThermal. His opponent to the lower right-hand side of the map, our red Protoss player from Armor Team. It's ShoWTimE. Match point and $50 prize pool on the line for him today if he can pick up this victory. As we just set up into this. So we've seen the gateway finishing up in the main base here from ShoWTimE. As uThermal just pulls an SCV off the line to start dealing with this proper ShoWTimE, which is, of course, in every matchup, always trying to be as annoying as possible. Factory is on the way from uThermal, and this time it's a gas first, which allows him to go into this factory very quickly. Skips the Reaper and Reactor, etc. as well. A couple of you guys asking about the last game, why did he type out? So I think the issue is he commits to something which really needs to do some kind of damage, yet he loses the medevac, he loses the Marines, and he doesn't kill a single unit with those. And as the Hellions run in towards the natural, there's already an Oracle there, and 3 Adepts, so by the time he hits the mineral line, he's not going to have many Hellions left, and I think he just realizes that he's never going to do anywhere near enough to be able to make up for kind of how much of a commitment it is. And uThermal is one of those players, especially in online events, where, and that, you know, in a situation like this against someone like ShoWTimE, he would rather tap out early than play kind of super, like, you know, super crazy, try and get back into the game. He'd rather just get past it, get into the next game, and keep on playing it out, you know. So I think he just types out because it's one of those moments where it's like, realistically, he just didn't do enough damage to justify his commitment, and he was behind. He felt he was behind, and again, in an online event, you know, obviously, obviously it's nice to try, but I think against ShoWTimE, he just knows, like, yeah, I'm not going to turn this one around, and, you know, if this was like Game 7 of, like, a final or something, yeah, maybe, but he'd rather just, I think, get past it, realize his mistakes, and get into the next game, you know? Adept shades through, but obviously it doesn't make it too far, as we're going to be seeing one Wood of Mine getting pushed away by this Adept. And the medevac on the way up, so Wood of Mine kind of set up here. So this overall build, this was gas first, remember, will be the Wood of Mine drop with 2 Hellions to probably run by as a follow-up. So Wood of Mine Marine into the 2 Hellion run by. It's a build that was very popular back in the start, like the Void, and something Terran players throw in every now and then. Again, just another kind of aggressive opening, but this is not looking good for uThermal. With the Stargate opening a second game in a row, this time ShoWTimE goes straight into a Phoenix. One Phoenix is actually coming across the map and will not find the medevac on its way there. Second Phoenix on the way up, though, and Phoenix are just so good at dealing with this kind of pressure because they can lift up Widow Mines, they can push back the medevacs. Let's see what happens. 2 Hellions will dive the natural, though, and there isn't anything really in position here. As this Phoenix comes in, Widow Mine will just burrow on the side. The Marines will burrow here as well. No shield battery in the main. And again, he has forced all of these units to come in over here rather than towards the natural, where we are going to be seeing 2 Hellions will start to do some damage. 1 probe going down. Shield battery will do a lot to help out. Oh, okay, it'll do a lot for now. If the probes go back to the kind of right part of the mineral line, they actually are going to be out of range of the shield battery. He's going to see Marines coming back in. Only 2 workers killed so far, though. Oh, these probes should not be chasing this Hellion. I mean, that's the opportunity for uThermal to do a little bit more. Phoenix should lift and will kill this Hellion off, as Marines in the main base will not do anything else. A couple of them get out of there. This Widow Mine is about to recharge. Is it going to go down before then? Just would have actually been hidden if those 2 Stalker shots hadn't killed it, but it was the perfect amount of damage to take it down. Well, now 2 Phoenix moving forwards. They actually missed this Liberator, so uThermal's follow-up aggression here will be able to actually get into the mineral line at least and do a little bit more. Again, you can just see why Phoenix is so good at dealing with this. You know, first of all, they can shut down the medevac, push it away more easily. They can lift up the Hellion a bit faster as the 3rd Nexus gets thrown down here. And now he's going to have Phoenix up to help deal with this Liberator as well. So that's something else he can utilize. We see 4 extra barracks from uThermal. So again, just the 2 bases. He's not throwing down a 3rd base. He's not going in towards the macro play. At least not right away. It's going to be heavy pressure, heavy commitment from him here. The ShoWTimE will just utilize 1 Phoenix to scout, but he doesn't see much. He doesn't see these 2 racks, and he also doesn't see the potential 3rd base in the back. Wouldn't expect uThermal to take the back base, but it's something that ShoWTimE you know, has to suspect at some point if he doesn't see one at some time. Liberator sieges up and does just force the probes off the mineral line, and obviously the Phoenix start to come back home to deal with this. I think this Liberator should probably just siege again. You might think, well, why? What's he going to gain as he'll target down a probe? Well, the Phoenix are going to come in and kill it anyways. If you know, just unsiege and back away, you're not going to do any more damage. In this case, at least he got one extra probe, maybe denied mining for just an extra second or so. And we do just see the +1 attack upgrade from uThermal now on the way up in the production tab. Stimpack combat shields building as well here. So he is going to play that bio. No mech from uThermal here today in the TvP so far. Something he was playing a lot of previously, but in the later kind of update, he's definitely gone back into the bio, and a lot of Terrans have gone back into bio. Apart from Innovation, he's still playing mech every game, it seems. 5 extra gates on the way up. Charge, +1 armor. The upgrades from ShoWTimE, which will carry him through into a strong, healthy mid-game. Upgrades which will help a lot against a very aggressive follow-up from uThermal. Again, those 5 racks are looking to be, you know, very aggressive throughout, and now ShoWTimE will identify this. He sees the extra racks, he sees no third base, and he realizes exactly what uThermal wants to do here. So ShoWTimE backing away through the top side, and we're just going to be seeing more Marines and tank gathering up together to potentially push across the map to do a bit more damage. Marines work their way through this set of rocks, and as those rocks start to drop, uThermal is just opening up kind of faster pushes across the map for reinforced units. He kills this observer, which just flies right over his army. So sharp eye for him there, as we are going to be seeing. Well, next air rock's going down too. Another thing that this buys a lot of time, but it definitely helps him just continue to bring more units across the map here. A single forge from ShoWTimE, so not even that greedy for him. For a little while, it will be +1 attack against +1 armor. So upgrades should be fairly even, as a few more Marines just rally in the siege tank as well. Where does uThermal push into? Maybe just into the natural straight away? It's a lot of Zards with charge, and obviously the armor upgrades are designed to make them very tanky. Not a lot of Stalkers though, and the other thing is no blink, and so if the Liberator count does rise up, there will be maybe a bit of an issue for ShoWTimE. I guess he's got the Phoenix, which will help out a little bit. The Phoenix should be looking to lift up the siege tank here in the upcoming engagement. The tank siege and a stim in. Well, hold position from ShoWTimE, so uThermal will take advantage of that. A few Marines getting caught in those initial force fields, but it's actually going to help the Terran eventually. Now the Robo going down, another siege tank sets up. This one cell can shield batteries as it runs on forwards. Well, there comes the first Liberator as well. Again, going to keep on pressuring this position. Wants to try and keep that safe from the Phoenix. That's going to be one of the more difficult parts of this here, as ShoWTimE still just hold position, but losing quite a bit as he hold position, as those force fields are not exactly where he needs them to be. And Archon as well going down, and Love Liberator sieging. This time the aggression from uThermal was looking a bit better. What is ShoWTimE waiting out for here? He's waiting for +2 armor, I think. Another warping of Zealots, and 10 seconds away. I think that's what he just wants to go for here, as we see those Adepts. Sorry, those Zealots starting to take some more damage. The Phoenix being target fired, so the tanks do not get lifted at all. This is not it from ShoWTimE. This is not what he needs. He's going to get decimated in this fight. You can see his units just disappearing. uThermal, very powerful push. And ShoWTimE just pure Zealot just was not the answer here. It was not the way for him to deal with this. And uThermal was like, oh, of course I know what game it is, so I really just don't think about it. And then, I don't know, is it other numbers that I'm seeing somewhere that makes me think of them? Like, I get it wrong so much. I don't know if anyone's got some psychological sort of input as to maybe why that's the case, but I say it all the time, and something I used to do as well, and sometimes I still do, but not as much, is kind of say, okay, in the top left, and then I'm actually in the bottom right of the map. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm talking about other things, and then I go straight into these things and just throw them out there without, again, thinking about it too much. Anyway, so the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid, it's uThermal. And it's the upper left-hand side, our red Protoss from Armor Team. It is ShoWTimE. uThermal, everything was going right for him in those engagements. The Zealots were disappearing. They ran into choke points. The Phoenix did not do their job of lifting up the tanks. I mean, I guess they were trying to do their job of maybe killing the Liberators, but that's the issue. If you've got only one unit to fill 2 roles, only one of those roles gets fulfilled, and, well, honestly, they didn't fulfill either role. I mean, the Phoenix also, the Liberators were still pretty much alive at the end of the fight. Maybe it would have been better to lift up the tanks, because at least then you can run past the Liberators, you know? and then just sort of like engage beyond them. If you have enough units. It was a rough position, ShoWTimE. Again, a little bit clogged up there. So we'll see what uThermal does now in game number 4 then. What is his choice of build? What does he want to go for? Does he two-base it again, I think, is one of the big questions. This is the third time he's tried this. Well, that was the second time he tried it. It would be the third time he try it. He tried it twice over 3 games. I mean, you got to expect it's something which he's obviously been doing with some success. As we get set up. British education is the reason I say the wrong game number. Well, I mean, I don't think so. I can count. You know, 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. Yeah. Now I don't know what it is. It's like it's obviously something in my mind where I just don't, for some reason, think about what it is. Like I don't know. Like I think I just say it so haphazardly that I just think it's I just say it so haphazardly. I don't think about it too much, and it just kind of slips through, and I again and again just don't expect it to. Maybe. Two Reapers on the way up, and we will see the factory dropping down. CC on the high ground here for uThermal. I'm not really sure why. I guess just because he's going for this kind of reactor first build, which is a bit different. And he's going to have 2 Reapers moving forward. He's actually going to go into 2 more Reapers as well. What an interesting way to set up in the early stages, eh? Is that normal? I would like to say no. So yeah, CC on the high ground because he went reactor into double Reaper. Again, a bit of a weird one here so far from uThermal as we set up in this 4th game. Well, ShoWTimE's response so far is just a robo facility coming down. Probably the, I mean, you could argue the most standard. I mean, the robo just gives you an observer. It gives you the warp prism potentially to harass a bit. It just gives you whatever you really need to hold off anything. You know, the faster Twilight can be a little bit vulnerable here, maybe there. But overall, the faster Twilight is still pretty, you know, it's fine. It's safe enough. Actually, did he leave 1 Reaper at home? He only has 3 Reapers. Did he lose a Reaper? Oh wow, the Reaper actually picked off got picked off by an Adept. I mean, they killed the Adept, but they lost 1 Reaper. Wouldn't expect that to happen with uThermal's micro. Sorry you missed that on the screen. 2 Stalkers here in the main base, and immediately those Reapers turn around from the top left-hand side. Again, Medevac on the way up currently for uThermal. Cyclone building as well on this main, and again, just getting set up, just getting rolling. 2 more gates from ShoWTimE. Also building at the moment as we're going to be seeing this Reaper grenade going down and blasting that Stalker back. Stalker getting pushed away just slightly here, and again getting ready to rumble. Looking to see what the next little something will be from these guys. Medevac lifts up the Cyclone and the Marines, so, and Hellion's behind it as well. And we're just going to go to the left. uThermal going to be seeing what he can do, as he will lose 1 Reaper. 2 Reapers, a Cyclone and Marines. I guess he might go into the main as Stalkers are chasing these Reapers away down the left. This Observer here will sight these Medevacs coming up. Oh, will he? He actually, oh, he just does see it with the edge. And was ShoWTimE paying attention? Doesn't immediately look like it. No real response from him just yet. Well, here you go. Cyclone and Marine's going to drop in the back of this mineral line, and immediately Probe Starter gets shield batteried. Shield batteries are kind of crazy, man. He kills 1 worker with 4 Marines and a Cyclone. Okay, now he kills a few more. And looks a bit more normal as the shield battery runs out of energy, but I mean, I guess pre-shield battery there would have probably been a mothership core here, but it's a lot of damage that's actually starting to be dealt here by uThermal. Gets 7 workers, 2 Stalkers in the main base as well, so actually he does start to add up the damage. These Marines are going huge. The Cyclone finally falls. Hellions and Reapers join the fray though. ShoWTimE is actually taking way more damage than this initially seemed to be doing. I mean, this Hellion reaches over, grabs 1 more worker, 12 workers killed, and the Reaper actually grenades the Stalker to jump out, so the Hellion and Reaper back down to the low ground here, and they will just take their leave. That was cute, the Reaper grenade to actually escape the kind of wall-off made by the unit. That was really, really cute. And uThermal finds some early damage. Now Blink on the way up, but he does have a defensive setup at home with a bunker, with a siege tank. He should be fine. Blink shouldn't be able to do much here at all. Reaper coming up in towards the natural, then more Stalkers coming across from ShoWTimE as well. 5 of them joining up together. And just moving around to see what else they can do. A Reaper to the right-hand side jumping over there. This Widow Mine to the left. Also seeing what it can get up to. And again, these Stalkers about to jump up into the main. Try and do a little bit more. Stalkers are picking their way through this reactor, so the reactor is going to go down. I mean, that's a huge pick-off, slowing down medevac production early. As we do see Stim will be used just to help push these Stalkers away. uThermal will know there's an observer here. Does he see it? Does he drive the scan? Does he have the energy? He does have the energy, but I guess he just doesn't quite know where it is. May not expect it to be actually in his main. If it was somewhere like here, then, you know, he would kind of just be scanning and not actually being able to kill it. Would just be a wasted scan, so that would hurt. Still in the votes, by the way, 60-40 in favor of ShoWTimE. uThermal a slight underdog, a slight lesser in the chat, as we do see. This scan does now come down, observer falls. Thank you very much, by the way, as well, as we have just a moment before more action happens. Macromancer999, can we get some Wardy hearts in the chat for him? Or her? And welcome to the Wardy family. You do get a decoration on the tree. Let me know which decoration you might like. And thank you for subscribing. As we're going to see Tanks will just micro here, lifted up against the Stalkers. And the Stalkers blinking away. Look at the damage, though. That tank taking 110 hit points of damage already. That's crazy sometimes, those Stalkers. They do so much with the +1 as well. Now 23 damage versus Armored. Yeah, Stalkers are pretty good, man. We're going to see one Stalker going down. Now a second one. ShoWTimE not continuing to pull those backwards. That does hurt a little bit. As we're going to be seeing these units of ShoWTimE looking to grit this army out the front. Again, I didn't really mention it, but it is just 3 at 2 bases. It is 5 barracks. uThermal with a similar setup to game number 3. Now, he is setting up with siege tanks, and he is sieging far away. ShoWTimE forcing this to happen before uThermal gets on that powerful ramp-focused position. ShoWTimE still poking and prodding, seeing what he can find. Marines will stem forwards here. A scan just to see if there's an observer as well, just maybe to think about what this army looks like. On the last end of this scan, he will be able to move the tanks forward a bit more safely. Bunkers will start up from a distance away. ShoWTimE is a while off 2-2, but he does already have 1-1, so he has that 1 armor upgrade advantage here. And we've seen these Marines stemming in a little bit. Zealot's going to start taking some damage. Here we go. Stalkers blink on top of the tanks. Marines may just focus on those. The bunkers go down, and so the little bit of a choke point set up here by uThermal does disappear. More Marines reinforcing, though, and the Zealots are pushed away. uThermal will not care about that force field, but the sentries are going to go down anyways. Now Immortals are in trouble. Reinforcing Zealots will force us away again. uThermal trying to find a moment to actually siege up this Liberator, and he's going to focus towards the ramp again, but his tank can't reset. It means a lot of the power here in the Terran army has disappeared, but the +1 Marines are still making work happen. Tanks will siege, and the tanks just hitting onto those Immortals, trying to drain the shield battery energy. Now Pylon taking some hits, and another Liberator will be able to siege just that little bit further forwards, and ShoWTimE might be in trouble here once again. Pylon is down, shield battery is dropping, it's going to disappear, and a Pylon actually on the Nexus, that's the connected Pylon, that's the fast warp-in Pylon, and so now there's only slow warp-ins on the natural. ShoWTimE's waiting for the right moment as here we go. Zealots push forwards. The Stalkers will go against the Liberator. They blink to the side to get a good position on it. The tank goes down as the Marines still step backwards. 2-2 is seconds away. With 2-2, ShoWTimE might have a better time. uThermal now does have +1 armor at least, which goes a long way for him. 30 army supply up. ShoWTimE is so reliant on these upgrades. Currently +2 armor will make those Zealots so much tankier. 2 Liberators still here. The Stalkers blink, but god damn it, do they take so long to actually do the damage they need. And now it's just Immortals. One Stalker is not going to get rid of the Liberators fast enough. The Marines stim on in once again. Probes are starting to pull, but they're stuck behind the Immortals. They will not get through here right away. The next Immortal goes down. uThermal with another tank joining as the Stalkers blink in. Liberators siege once more. Marines are still stimmed. They're still going through. Probes are still dropping. ShoWTimE 14 lost. Stalkers back away, another Liberator sieges. I think uThermal has this one here. He might just about force us into a game 5 as he pushes up once more. Marines are ready again. Another tank coming over. 3 Liberators now. And it's just Stalkers and Zealots. No Immortals being produced, and uThermal 35 supply ahead. Down a set of upgrades, but does that matter? Well, let's find out. Nice pickup, saves a couple of Marines that weren't going to do a lot other than die to those Zealots. The tank there hitting every now and then. Another pylon to the side. I mean, the Nexus on its own is going to drop shortly. There's only 3 or 4 Zealots. That's not a lot tanking, but that's good force field. uThermal will stick around and fight it momentarily. Now he lifts up and backs away. The tank goes down. Oh man, the Liberators, though, they pick off another couple of those sentries. It's just a few Stalkers left. I just don't think ShoWTimE can quite find enough to really fight this off. 4 more Zealots being warped in as we're going to see Marines still setting up towards this round. More units rallying across to see what will happen next. What a crazy set of fights this was. This was close. This was super, super close as we're going to be seeing Another Liberator sieging again. Marines coming in, and we are going to be seeing the Nexus taking more down. Here we go, running in once more. The Stalkers blink to hit the Liberators. The Zealots will start to go down. Does ShoWTimE have enough? I don't think so, because eventually here the Zealots stop coming out, and now the Stalkers have to blink away. And this time uThermal feels like he has enough to chase those Stalkers into the natural. He's going to find himself probe kills. He's going to get the Nexus eventually as well. And that is going to be GG. uThermal ties us off up 2-2. And we're going to a game number 4. And ShoWTimE. What a matchup this has been. Let's do this. We're going to kick it off to the bottom left-hand side. We're tied up. We're 2-2. Alright, let's see those hashtags coming in then to see who you're cheering on. To the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. Give it up for uThermal. To the upper right-hand side, our red Protoss player from our team is ShoWTimE. I also have Prime. Can I watch ads? Hey, if you have Prime, the thing is about Prime is that if Prime blocks the ad and you don't get ads because of Prime, the streamer still gets it as though you watched the ad. And that's the great thing about Prime. You know, the Prime sort of like absorbs the ad for you, so you don't have to watch them. But the streamer still benefits as though you're watching ads. So it's, yeah, it's pretty neat. It is pretty neat. Yeah, it's cool actually. Makes sense, obviously. I think if they didn't count, obviously it's not fair on streamers if suddenly they lose out again to do their ad revenue sometimes, you know. Alright. Well, what's going on here in SCV? Currently just pulling back home from scouting early. Let's look at the Terran build, because I think that's been one of the more interesting things throughout the day. It's going to be, once again, kind of reactor first, or Marine into reactor, but still building the CC on the high ground. So, sending the CC on the high ground, just a safety thing early on. Twilight Council built some ShoWTimE, so he's going to go back into that fast blink play, I imagine. Unless he really wants to change things up, throw down like a Dark Shrine, or maybe even Glaives could be a way to change things up here. Super early in the game. Nope, just going to be that blink. I mean, it makes sense. Blink's a great one, and you can do a lot with that blink. Lots of hashtag uThermals coming in from I Have Rabies, Optimus, SkyBlue1, Jensel with the hashtag ShoWTimE, Shashadi cheering on uThermal as well, OD Pressure, Archie222. Some hashtag ShoWTimE's coming back. Just Mortars, Andro. Bloodlust responds with another uThermal. Some real back and forth here. Some real back and forth. Pretty evenly split between the players in the chat, guys. Thank you for showing who you're supporting. Do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to see who you guys are. Cool to see who you guys are supporting. Alright, well. We'll leave that up there so you guys can keep hashtagging for a little while and see how it's going. Meanwhile, in the game, the third Nexus coming down. And as the third Nexus comes down, we are going to be seeing the Blink about to finish up as well, more or less. So, Blink going to be finishing here in just a moment. And in the meantime, we do just see this refinery from uThermal also finishing up on the natural. So he's actually already on 3 gases. But it's just fairly standard stuff as he takes a stop on reactor. I kind of keep forgetting we're already 4 minutes in game or so. God damn it. Well, still in combat shields once more. Coming on through, we're going to see the +1 weapons on the engineering base setting up as well. And we do see these Stalkers of ShoWTimE starting to come through the center of the map. So some Stalkers from ShoWTimE moving through the center. Double Forge in the main base. So he sets up into the Double Forge, and obviously that will help a lot in terms of being able to just have those upgrades once again. I mean, this is the go-to right now in PvT. Blink into Robo, Double Forge for the upgrades, chrono them out, and just go from there. As we do see, well, Marauder, a few more Marines on the way, a combat shield upgrade, like we mentioned, is going to be finishing shortly, and the +1. As those unit upgrades finish up, uThermal with his first 2 medevacs can potentially start to push across the map and see what he can do. He will be pushing with +1 against no upgrades of the Prowlers just right away, so it could be a big positive as this Observer in Observer mode just sat up ahead. So difficult to just spot this as uThermal if you're just sort of sat here. I mean, look at this. I always feel as though the darker background maps as well make it super difficult. Yeah, but if you're uThermal, I guess you're just an absolute god who watches for them anyways and finds them. So there you go. uThermal sees it, and he'll start to push across the map. So pushing across the map, going to be getting aggressive, going in towards the upper right-hand side to see if ShoWTimE can hold off this initial push. And, well, there we go. 2 more barracks. uThermal obviously feeling as though the 2 base all-in plays are the way to play things lately in the matchup. Let's see what goes down. We see a single Marine going to stim up this ramp, but well, Stalker's going to take that Marine down pretty quick. We're going to see a probe getting picked off, and there we go, a stim in. Well, the sentry's not targeted right away. There it is. The Guardian Shield picked off as the now force fields. Kind of hurting the Zealots a little bit, choking them up as uThermal will continue to chase in towards this shield battery, but he is starting to pick away at some of these Stalkers. The Stalker's going down. He'll turn for the Immortal kill. Obviously, that's a big pick off there if he gets it, and he will get away with one of the Medivacs, not both of them. Unloading once again. We're going to be seeing another scan. Spots those Stalkers moving around here. Let's see what the next little option is for himself. As it's going to be seeing units coming back up through the center towards the upper right. Force field comes down once again, and again just a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of skirmishing. I feel uThermal traded brilliantly there. What's the resources lost? Pretty even, actually. I thought it would be a little bit more. I don't know. It just feels like uThermal killed a lot. I guess he lost a fair amount in the process. Well, he just threw down a 3rd CC, so this isn't as ultra aggressive as we've seen in the past from our Terran. You know, he is going to have a 3rd base as a backup here. Something to fall back on, something to go back to. Well, that obviously is a very, you know, a very big positive for him here. Something that he should generally be looking for. As Bio picks off this set of rocks, and the Widowmine currently is, well, was leading the charge. Zealots and Stalkers, couple sentries from our Protoss player going through the middle and seeing what's happening. Those 2 pylons are going to finish up behind this mineral line as well. And another 5 Stalkers on the way up. Pylon in this main base also. Yeah, it's going to be seen. I mean, the 3rd base is about to finish. Yeah, you can just see uThermal's just sitting back a little bit. The armory's there, so his +2 attack starts. He's actually still only on 1 engineering bay. Usually, I mean, 1 engineering bay is very normal for the +1 attack, then the +1 armor. But usually for the +2 attack, you usually have an armory and the 2nd engineering bay added on at the same time to go 2-2. You can kind of see he does have gas to sort of do that. I guess we'll see how many more. I guess he's queuing up Liberators and stuff, though, which is pretty gas intensive. No tank play this time as well, by the way. He's actually building up Widow Mines here, so continuing to use that. No rally point on his barracks, or on some of these barracks in the factory, on the newer structures for himself. Small mistake, hopefully doesn't hurt him too much. He did just grab the units before, so he isn't missing them all of the time, but might be something he has to be a little bit careful about. Spire continue to get up just down this ramp, and Marine finds the army to the right. A lot of Zealots here, I have to say, and you know, with a few Widow Mines starting to be added in, that's going to be interesting as we're going to be seeing the few units pulling back once again. A lot of units on the right-hand side continuing to move around, and there's the +3 armor on the way up for ShoWTimE. Again, the upgrades are one of the big things in this one. 2-2 now against 1-1. And +3 will be on the way soon. I mean, already +3 armor, but where's the +3 attack ShoWTimE? Or is he going to build the shields again? I mean, that was an interesting part of one of the earlier games that actually went a bit longer. Going to shields with that +1 armor, +3 armor, so again, it's another possibility. That Observer's still around there. uThermal just going to take the center of the map for now. He's 20 supply behind, though. Brazen on Siege pulling back a little bit, and Stalkers will blink in. 1-2 Marauders going to get picked off. 3rd Marauder gets up to the high ground and gets towards healing here. There's going to be a timeout for somebody. uThermal. Currently DCing at the moment, so maybe a couple of moments before we get back into this, guys. Just as the fight was starting to heat up a little bit as well. As uThermal is just going to completely disconnect. The situation is still very winnable on that.